We are live. So we are live. You can start the.
Good, thank you. A very warm welcome to IMT Ghaziabad PGDMExP live YouTube webinar series. Now, okay. A very good evening, all of you, and all right. Okay. Very good evening, all of you. A warm, very warm welcome to this PGDMExP live YouTube webinar series. My name is Rishikesh and I'm a senior manager in admission department. Last time we have done a webinar on international immersion, and today's webinar topic is PGDMExP Alumni Connect, a global network of excellence. Once again, warm welcome to this exclusive webinar. I'll just quickly brief you about flow of the webinar so that you will be informed what's going, what's will be, what's in the there in from 6 to 7. First, we have a director with us, IMT Ghaziabad director with us. So it will be a keynote session from our IMT Ghaziabad director, Dr. Vishal Talwar. And post that, we will have program insights and outcome overview from program chairperson, Dr. Nihar Amonkar. And after that, we have two our esteemed alumni of PGDMExP, and we will have interaction with them. They will share their experience with the program and overall how they are now leading their corporate life. And post that, the last 15 minutes will be a Q&A, that is question and answers for all our participants. So you can ask anything about the program, about the placements, about the alumni, anything if you have any queries. So with that, we will move to a first segment, that is keynote session from IMT Ghaziabad director, Dr. Vishal Talwar. Before that, I'll just quickly introduce him. Dr. Vishal Talwar is director at IMT Ghaziabad. Prior to this, Dr. Talwar was dean, assistant dean, director for various universities and business schools. Prior to this, he was based in UK and working at the Henley Business School, that is University of Reading. Previously, Dr. Talwar was working in the Department of Management at the London School of Economics. And he has done his PhD in marketing strategy from Alliance Manchester Business School. With that, I'll take this privilege to invite Dr. Vishal Talwar. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Rishikesh. Thank you very much for the introduction. Welcome everyone to the session. I'm sure you had a lot of other things to do on Saturday evening. So I'm just wondering, what you're doing here right now in terms of, spending time trying to understand the program that we actually offer. So the IMT Ghaziabad has been in the mission of creating practice-aligned management education for a long period of time. Sri Mahendranath, who's the founder of IMT Ghaziabad, was someone who was rather very clear about the fact that education, and specifically management education, needs to be more practically aligned, needs to be more experiential. And mind you, this is something that was obviously started in 1980. So the whole concept of ensuring that education as a whole is industry aligned is something that was of a thought process much, much earlier, right? 42, 43 years back. And of course, what you now see is the fruit, or essentially the outcome, of a lot of focus on industry-aligned management education. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we're about obviously 42 years old. Our executive program has been there for quite a long period of time as well. Okay, so today, obviously, you'll get to know about the executive program that we have. It's an 18-month program. It's a full-time program that is something that is meant for people who are looking at their career in a slightly different manner altogether. there are a few reasons why somebody does, let's say, an executive MBA or an executive PGDM program, right? It could be for a career thrust. It could be for moving up as far as the ladder is concerned. It could be that you are already up in the ladder, but realize that possibly there's certain gaps because, when you go up the ladder, you kind of mix and lead teams of different nature, right? You have various functions, various people coming along. And sometimes if you've been, let's say, process orientated or function orientated, and then you find yourself amongst a lot of people from varied functions, you do at times feel some kind of limits or constraints, right? So there are various reasons. I'm sure Dr. Nihar Amonkar, I'm sure Naman, as well as, Sunil and Rishikesh and everybody else will talk to you in more detail about, how is it that an executive PGDM or PGDMExP in this case can help you reach your desired goals or your desired objectives. I just wanted to mention about our ethos. As I mentioned earlier, it's practice driven. As I mentioned earlier, we are a business school that is very, very strongly aligned with the industry. And if you've been following our endeavors in the last many years, you'll realize that, we have a strong network. It's not just the alumni network, and mind you, our alumni are based all across the world. Remember, being in existence for the last 43 years means that a lot of our alumni are established or are climbing up the ladder in various industries, and not only in various industries, but in various different parts of the globe. The reason why I talk about them is also because of the fact that why do you want to do a PGDMExP? It is also to be able to enable or open up a lot of doors. It is to be able to network with a lot of individuals, and our alumni provide you exactly that as you go forward. At the same time, I would also want to stress about our faculty. Right? Any good progressive business school like an IMT Ghaziabad not only focuses on knowledge dissemination in the classroom, but it also focuses on knowledge creation. And a lot of our faculty, in fact, almost all our faculty are very, very research active. They publish at the highest levels. And this is something that differentiates us, right? So if you look at the kind of publications we've had, there's some of the best publications around. Our faculty publishes at the Financial Times top 50 level. They publish at the ABDC A-star levels, at the A levels. And the reason's very simple. You would ask, how does it matter to you whether they publish? Of course, it matters to us because we're a school that enables us in terms of accreditation, in terms of our rankings, but also it enables a richer discussion in the classroom, right? So when you are a faculty who's actually been there doing that, is aligned with research, is actually doing a lot of research, is actually doing a lot of data collection, is writing papers, is writing cases, that by itself manifests into richer discussion and integration into the classroom, right? So these are things that I just wanted to mention. These are things that you should be keeping in mind. Like other progressive business schools, we also realize that management education is not just about a parameter, which is essentially a placement outcome, but it is also about the richness of the learning that you can provide in the classroom and within the confines of the campus and beyond in your 18 months, right? It's not just about, let's say, what you do in the class, but outside class, what you do, how you are part of the clubs, the committees, how you're part of groups that you would like to be part of, how you initiate a lot of things, how you kind of create an environment of peer group learning, peer discussion learning. That essentially differentiates a good progressive management education as compared to the others. What you also have to remember is that we are an institution that believes that we need to engage with what were the real reasons for why business school education became important, right? If you look at the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, when business schools came along, they came along for social impact. They came along to be able to create an impact and create value, and not necessarily just about narrow parameters. Okay, and through our Center for Sports Research, through our CSR initiatives, through a lot of other things that we actually do, we realize that a lot of good things that happen in management education can be used to be able to help impact not only you as a student, and not only the other stakeholders within the campus, but a lot of stakeholders outside the campus, right? So we have a Center for Enterprise and Business Improvement, which works with small, medium, and even large enterprises to be able to then do projects along with them. you might ask, okay, how does it benefit? Remember, everything is about creating a rich classroom experience, right? So when your faculty and your students are actually doing rich projects with the industry, that automatically means that you are doing things that are relevant, you're doing things that are contemporary, you're doing things that actually make a lot of sense. Once again, it enhances the classroom learning experience for you, okay? We have a very thriving incubation innovation center, which is headed by one of our alumni from 2012. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of you as students somewhere deep within aspire to have something for themselves. Okay, if you have those particular thoughts, if you have those particular aspirations, do tell us, because those are things that we can help mentor as well. Very recently, we had within the Incubation Innovation Center, somebody joining us. He's a mentor in residence. Once again, another alumni from the same batch of 2012, who has been part of the Atal Incubation Center at ISB, which is the Indian School of Business, right? So a lot of these things are being enabled for you to be able to reach where you would like to go. Okay, so I don't want to take the wind out of the sails of anyone. I don't want to preempt anything. I just wanted to give you an introductory, spiel around IMT Ghaziabad, our program. I'm sure you'll have many different kinds of questions on the nature of the courses, on the nature of the curriculum, on the electives, the approach in the classroom, the kind of faculty that will teach you. Everyone here today will help you discover and uncover a lot of those queries that you might have in your mind. This is an important decision, right? All of you who are listening to us today, all of you who will form part of the cohort of the PGDMExP will have a certain years of experience under the belt, right? Some of you might have families, some of you might have responsibilities beyond, let's say, a 2-year MBA program, which is straight out of, let's say the undergrad and moving on to do a competitive exam and then doing it. So obviously that means that you have more responsibilities, more things to think about. It's an important decision. You should take the right decision. If you have further queries, I'm more than happy to help. But right now, I would hand over back to Rishikesh. Rishikesh, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Talwar, and it's really a privilege, and we are glad that you have joined us and you have shared the vision, mission of IMT Ghaziabad along with your own vision with the IMT Ghaziabad, and you have briefed us on the PGDMExP program as well. So I again, thank you so much for your precious 10 or 12 minutes you have spent with us. With that, we will move to our next segment, and that is program insights and outcome overview from program chairperson Dr. Nihar Amonkar. And before inviting him, I'll just brief you about him. Dr. Nihar Amonkar is the chair of the PGDMExP program and faculty in the area of strategy, innovation, and entrepreneurship. He heads the Center of Enterprise, Business Improvement at IMT Ghaziabad. Professor Nihar started his career by co-founding an enterprise and transitioned to academia by pursuing a PhD in entrepreneurship from University of South Wales with full scholarship. He spent 10 years in the UK in various academic management roles, including as a director of MBA programs at University of Derby. He also has won several best paper awards for his research in the UK and Malaysia, and won the university-wide Best Lecturer Award at South Wales Universities. And he moved to IMT Ghaziabad in 2021. So that's his entire profile. And with that, I'll over to you, Dr. Nihar.
Thank you, Rishikesh, for that wonderful introduction. Welcome everyone to this session, which focuses on the alumni of the PGDMExP program that has been running at IMT Ghaziabad since the year 2000. That makes it one of the oldest executive MBA programs in the country. IMT Ghaziabad actually had been way ahead of the curve in terms of identifying that, as our director said, professionals who have spent considerable time in the industry have a need to upskill themselves and have a need to come back to the business school to try and equip themselves with new knowledge, skills, and abilities that will help them excel in life. I would also like to welcome two such individuals who have excelled, post their executive MBA at IMT Ghaziabad, Mr. Naman Kamra, who is the founder at Bazaar 5, and Mr. Sunil Palakumar, who is the Associate Director of Logistics at Turtle Wax Incorporated. Both of them graduates of the IMT Ghaziabad's PGDMExP program. Privileged to have you both here, and always, great to see our alumni come back and help us spread the message of success to the wider audience. We were talking, so the session is dedicated to the alumni, so I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm going to hand it over to Naman and Sunil very soon to share their experiences. I would just like to set the context as to why alumni is important. See, every educational institution have alumni. The fact that you're an educational institution, you will have alumni. But there are two things that make a difference when it comes to IMT Ghaziabad. One is what kind of alumni you produce. Are there people who are just making success in terms of economic benefits, reaping economic benefits, or are they having a wider impact on the society and the environment? Are they responsible leaders? Are they people who care about other people? Are there someone who just think about shareholder wealth maximization, or do they think of stakeholder wealth maximization? I think that is where IMT Ghaziabad's alumni have really set themselves apart. That the kind of ethical, responsible leadership that they have demonstrated wherever they have worked is remarkable. And it is a sign of the quality of the people that choose to join us, but also a sign of the quality of education that IMT Ghaziabad promises to deliver. The second thing that I want to talk about, which is remarkable about IMT's alumni, is the fact that how the alumni give back to the institution. So this year in April, we had a alumni reunion, the PGDM Executive Alumni Reunion at IMT Ghaziabad campus. And we called our alumni from the last 20 years onto the campus just to rekindle the old spirits and, connect with each other, share stories, and also, more importantly, help mentor their alma mater in terms of how, we can become even better at what we do. So our alumni are involved very heavily in terms of everything that we do. So Rishikesh and the director was mentioning the Center for Enterprise and Business Improvement, which is the consulting platform of IMT Ghaziabad, is something that is facilitated by our alumni. A lot of times our alumni come back to us with business problems and problem statements, and we start with that. Our alumni come to our students with short-term projects, which allow them to apply their learning in a real-time environment. Our alumni come and engage with a structured alumni mentorship program, which is a part of the executive program that we run, and help young professionals and young leaders and aspiring managers decide what kind of career direction they should take, and help them, build their resumes, help them make choices, and guide them, not just in education and career, but much beyond that as well. So I think that is something that I would like to highlight about the quality of alumni that IMT Ghaziabad has always produced. It's not just the number, but it's about the quality. And I'm glad to see that we have two such people here today. I would just like to give a few minutes to the overview of the program. So the PGDMExP program was known as the PGDM Executive Program. Now, why did the name change? Because in last year, in 2022, AICTE asked all institutions which are accredited by it to merge all their PGDM programs. So what you see at IMT is actually one PGDM program, which is now delivered in multiple formats. It can be delivered in a 2-year format for freshers, or it can be delivered in an 18-month format for people with at least 5 years of work experience, which is the PGDMExP program. So here, this program is a full-time residential program for people who have at least 5 years of work experience. So as a result of the merger of the PGDM programs, we added the nomenclature of EXP to help people differentiate this program to the 2-year program. The other thing that happened was it also gave us a chance to completely overhaul the architecture and the curriculum of the program. So the AICT also told us that the program duration had to increase from 15 months to 18 months. And also that meant the credits also had to increase. So that meant that, we started a very intensive research process. We connected with our alumni, we connected with the industry, the recruiters, and subject matter experts to understand what does a future-oriented executive program look like. And that thought process went into into curating the curriculum that you see, which is there on our website for you to have a look at as well. So the program is heavily informed by what stakeholders need. So what the students require, what the industry needs, what our recruiters need, and what, how management education is progressing, and, how technology is playing a bigger role in how we do business and management. You see, this program is now almost positioned on the interface of technology and management. Because if you see our curriculum, it's not just the classical MBA subjects such as strategy and leadership that are prominent in the curriculum, but subjects such as business analytics, digital business transformation, emerging technologies and sectoral analysis, data science, AI, ML, fintech. These are core subjects. So that shows that this program is really geared towards the future. So this will help you prepare for the life that is going to be in management and business for the next 15 to 20 years. We also have partnered with KPMG to deliver 2 specialist certifications. One is on ESG and sustainability, and the other is on consulting skills. ESG and sustainability becoming the next biggest thing to happen to us. And every organization will now need to be aware about how to be ESG compliant and how to increase their ESG scores, how to be more sustainable. So we are actually ahead of the curve in terms of training our students with some of the best practitioners in the market, such as KPMG. Consulting skills certification helps because 50% of my batch is actually placed in consulting roles. The fact that consulting people, companies really choose to come to IMT Ghaziabad to pick their future consulting leaders shows that, the kind of academic expertise, the kind of research and analytical skills that our students have are second to none. So that is also demonstrated in our placements. We have demonstrated 100% placements for the last 3 years. Our median in the last 3 years has gone up from our average CTC, for example, has gone up from 18 2 years ago to 21 lakhs per annum last year to 23 lakhs per annum this year. So the return on investment on this program is very, very good. What is even more rewarding for me is that, the average CTC of the incoming students is somewhere around 9 lakhs, and the average CTC of the outgoing students is 23 lakhs. I think that really shows the kind of value that we add to the program. So without delaying Sunil and Naman any further, I would like to just thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Naman. Thank you, Sunil. And I would really appreciate if you can help the candidates who have logged into our session today decide what they should do. And you can share your stories about how you made the choice to join IMT Ghaziabad, why the Executive MBA. Share your experiences during the Executive MBA program, whether it's international immersion or whether it's the classroom experience. And more importantly, the placement process, how it helped. And then how did the MBA help you excel post your higher education? So over to you, Rishikesh. You can introduce both our esteemed alumni. And thank you very much once again for hearing us out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neha. It was really a fantastic session. Thank you so much for, very detailed briefed about the program insights. Exactly the entire hands-on experience for during this 18 months. What exactly student, what he's going to do, during this 18 months, because our all participants, they are all working professionals and minimum 5 years of experience. So for them, it's kind of coming back to the school, and it's a little bit kind of again coming back to the school, and because they have just now become professional, and now again we are throwing them to into the student experience. So it was really great that you have shown some light on program insights like international immersion and placement. Last 3 years, IMT Ghaziabad has really grown in average. I will mention by you that 18 lakhs to now 23.07. It's really a milestone within 3 years, and that 3 years as well. It's a pandemic years, and we have today a live example, right? Because these all two alumni, both are from pandemic and corona kind of batch, right? So without wasting much time, I will move to our first esteemed alumni, Mr. Sunil Kumar. And before that, I would like to just introduce him to all our participants and audience. Mr. Sunil Kumar is a highly experienced professional in the field of global supply chain operations and logistics. With over 15 years of expertise, he has made significant contributions to various industries, particularly in India. Having worked for Turtle Wax, he is associate director, by the way, with Turtle Wax, and he has played a crucial role in streamlining the supply chain operations and logistics for the company in India. And his extensive knowledge and skills have enabled him to effectively manage large scale projects and ensure smooth manufacturing processes. Prior to his tenure at Turtle Wax, Sunil also worked at Vedanta, where he successfully streamlined the seaport and global shipping network. Under his leadership, the company efficiently managed imports of over 2 million tons of raw material annually. Moreover, his strategic sourcing initiatives resulted in substantial savings of over 500 crores. Apart from his professional achievements, Sunil is also a writer. He has authored 2 books and has published numerous articles on supply chain management. This demonstrates his commitment to sharing knowledge and contributing to the field. Outside of the work, he finds joy in spending time with his children. This aspect of his life reflects his dedication to maintaining a healthy work-life balance. And with his wealth of experience and expertise, he continues to make significant contributions to the supply chain operations and logistic industry in India. So I think, that's really great, and this is, I think, for me also, this is first time I'm going to listen and learn from somebody from the supply chain operation kind of, so because even over my 12 to 13 years of hands-on experience, I always heard and listened a lot of things from marketing or finance or kind of. So first time I'm also going to listen to your experience, how you have climbed the ladder, and specifically, you have 15 years of experience, and in that, after 12 years, you joined this program, and then again you came back. So this is really gonna be exciting, and I'm just heading over to you. So over to you, Mr. Sunil Kumar. All floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishikesh. And thank you, IMT, for inviting for this session. And also thank you for the viewers to attend the session. So before going to, what exactly my accomplishments are, or, what exactly I did in my MBA and what did post MBA, I want to thank you all to taking this step, or I want you to thank yourself to take this step, because you have a live example like me and Naman. You can see us, and not only like we have so many alumni who had contributed significantly post their studies. It's not that they have not contributed before their study, but post their study they have got a leverage to perform better in the field they are already. So if you look at the supply chain, so let me start with my background. So I started my career in 2007 as a mechanical engineer, and when I started my career, it was not a startup era. Okay, it was literally an era of corporate. And startups were just begin to form in India, and I think after 2010, the startup eventually grew, and we got a lot of venture capitalists funding the money into the corporate or maybe startup, and eventually corporate also started their corporate entrepreneurship journey. So when we started, we always looked at our industries which gives us stability, which gives us a long-term career And probably it could be we wanted to settle down in one industry, or let's say one segment of industry, rather than switching so many companies and all. So this kind of, it is the mindset. And eventually I continued to work in Vedanta for 12 years. In the 12 years of Vedanta, I have learned a lot of things, lot of practical exposures. I was into project management, and then I switched to operation management. And after operation, I switched to supply chain management. Within supply chain, I handled inbound, port, outbound, and also basically warehousing and distribution of entire Vedanta aluminum for a certain period of time. So when you look at my profile, it's typically I got almost all exposures before during my 12 years of work ex. And then why did I choose MBA after 12 years of experience? So to be frank, I attempted to do my MBA after 5 years of my work ex. It's about 2012, 2013. But due to my personal reasons, I couldn't travel to UK, and it was I got an offer from UK college, and then I decided to drop the plan, and I thought I'll continue my life in the way I wanted. And life always gives you second chance, and the second chance happened to be in 2020. So that is COVID time, and especially it's totally how can I say, it's instable. Basically, your life is unstable. You are not sure about what is going to happen in the industry, which kind of industry will survive after COVID, or which kind of industry will be giving you benefit for the post education after 2022 and all. So it's about 18 months of stint in IMT. So it was a bold decision for me to take that call. So luckily, I have a friend who is not here, but he's Ravi. He also had 13 years of work ex in the Hindalco industry. So together we discussed for a while, and we have taken the step to join the program. And so there were like pretty comments from my peers who were already in the Vedanta, or who were from other part of industries, or my friends, colleagues. So they told, what exactly you're going to learn after 12 years, because you have seen the entire world already. You have been into global supply chain, this and that. I said, I have a confidence that learning has no boundary. Even you can learn again and again. If somebody asked me to do MBA again, I'll be happy to do if my family cooperates. And so, and I'll dedicate my degree or MBA for a postgraduate to my wife, who has been always supportive and encouraged, because by the time I blessed with 2 kids, and my family was well established, and there was no problem with anything. No, there is no need of pursuing an MBA unless other than a zeal to do something in life, or a zeal to learn something more. So CTC wise also, I was very comfortable. There was no problem at all. So then this is the before state. Why? How did I join this program? And what inspired me to join this program? The only one reason is I want to learn something. I was feeling that I want to learn something, but I was not exactly clear what exactly I'm going to learn. Now coming to during the program, how was the program? So when you join, you got a batch size of 5 to 12 years of experienced people. So as a leader, like, you might be listening, the viewers could be at the age of let's say experience of 5 to 12 years, or let's say 5 to 10 years. So I'm giving this point to 5 years to 7 years. You have your bosses even now who would be 12 years or 13 years work ex. You have an idea in your mind, and you want to take a decision. So not every boss is comfortable to give a decision, and not every boss is able to take your decision, or not every boss will allow you to perform your decision in the way. But what happens when you come to this program? You are having 12 years of experience, and the 5-year guy is your team member, literally like a peer. And in this case, you don't have any chance to say no, or listen to me, I'm your boss. That is not there. So the blending of 12 years and 5 years, the blending of, let's say, Facebook to Insta. Okay. I can say that, so my age to, there is an age gap of 7 years. So the blending of this generation, not generation exactly, so this period, 7 years ahead and 7 years the people who born 7 years later, is quite interesting. And initially this troubled me, because I was feeling, how will I manage with the group, because we were getting a case study to solve in MBA. You have different viewpoints, okay, and you got a counter view which you don't want to accept. And There is a team already, they wanted to go with the idea. Then how do you manage such situation? And this is what the current startup is. This is what the current industry is now. You go to any industry now, any growing industry, they have a blend of this kind of people, like work from 5 years to let's say 12 years of experience people that driving the mid managerial roles, in fact senior roles of the company as well. So this is what typically happens in the industry, what we got an opportunity as a case study to solve in IMT. But actually this is a exposure that already an industry is doing right away. So coming to my post MBA experience, so I'll tell about my learning abilities. I've been learning skills. What the skills I learned apart from leadership? See, leadership and all, I was having a team size of 36 people before joining to IMT. 36 direct employees and over 250 indirect employees. So man management was already in my experience card. But what did I do differently? Probably I'll tell you after 5 minutes. Before that, I'll tell you what exactly I learned in my um, career during MBA. So I prefer to tell this. So for example, there is a case. I mean, you are into supply chain. Let's say you're in marketing industry or something. You got a case from a competitor, or you got a let's say legal case, or let's say legal claim, or there is an insolvency case of let's say $5 million in your company. So what do you do at this point of time? You have very simple. So I'll use a Hindi. अरे भाई legal department है, उससे एक बार चले जाओ, उससे बात कर लो. Okay, very simple. And then $5 million का claim है, let's say $5 million claim. You will go to your finance department and hand over the case. But to be frank, how much you understand about a $5 million claim, how it affects the working capital of the company, how it affects the balance sheet of the company, how it affects the liabilities or further liabilities of the company, and this side of the legal side, what will happen when you give a illogical reasoning to solve the case? How do you manage that case? What are the corporate law rules? How you have to solve a case? How you understand a case? No need to solve a case. Probably you have to understand the legal department view as well. So sometimes what happened due to the communication gap between, not communication, probably the understanding ability, the difference of understanding ability between the legal department, let's say finance department, and the supply chain or let's say marketing department, there is a gap. And this gap is not less than 3 months or 2 months. Any project will get delayed by 3 months to let's say 6 months because of this gap. And after learning these skills, especially corporate law, finance in deep, analytical finance analysis, and also simulation of the businesses and corporate strategy, and even brand building strategy, and understanding marketing in a deeper sense. Because IMT, I have learned marketing. Even now I'm a supply chain, but I can still handle marketing or sales very easily. I can say even with my hardly 6 months to 7 months of marketing course that I studied in 2 or 3 semesters. It's because of the type of the case studies. And Professor Abhishek, he's in IMT. I even now I admire him for the way he taught us the case studies, the way he analyzed. You might be thinking I am having 12 years of experience, so probably I will analyze in a pattern, but I may be wrong. It's because the world is different, and every case answer is not yes, and every case answer is not no. So every case, like the opinion what is okay to you, it might not be okay to many people. So managing this kind of conflict situations, managing, understanding the cross-functional viewpoints and all, really helped me. To be frank, it really helped me today. Now, today means anytime, like if you ask me any balance sheet or any company finance position and all, it takes a minute to me to analyze and solve it in solve it in a proper way. At least understand. If you don't solve, no problem. At least understand the view of the finance guy. At least understand the view of the legal guy. At least understand the view of marketing or strategic guy, brand building people. You might be thinking in operation, यार ये marketing वाला तो यार बड़ा बड़ा पिक्चर दिखाता है, बट ऑपरेशंस पे कैसे होता है. सो उसको बड़ा पिक्चर क्यों दिखाता है? बिकॉज it is the way we have to grow. If you don't show it a big picture in a company, see, operation people, execution people has always a problem to absorb the shock. And marketing and other cross-functional people keep on giving you shock. And for example, commercial department will negotiate a price. Let's say $5 is the price. It will negotiate to $2, $3. Commercial, though, they will manage their savings. But how this operation guy has to operate with the same product that is coming at the $3, which was coming earlier in $5. How the supplier, how to manage the supplier, all these things you will learn during the program through a case study. And when you do it through a case study with the different people, let's say an IT person can give you a better view of supply chain negotiation rather than a supply chain person can give you. Probably you might think, अरे यार ये तो ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. Like, can we do in this way also? that view you will get only in MBA and full-time MBA, not in, I don't want to comment on part-time or executive. I'm not against them, but for me, a full-time is a full-time. So I think with this, I don't know, I have time for some minutes. So can I continue, Rishikesh?
No, if you, yeah, we have another session with you also. So
Yeah.
don't worry, I'm going to, give you a lot of time because, and rightly said by you is, it is very, very, that means whatever you have taken the risk, after 12 years, switching to professional to the student, it's now worthwhile. Right?
Worthwhile. I agree. I fully agree.
Perfect.
So last but not least, so if you tell me after 12 years, you were already a leader, then what is exactly after the MBA? It's nothing but leadership 2.0.
I'm going to ask that question that, that is my
So,
first top-notch question, for the audience also, but for me as well. So with
thank
that,
you.
yes, just hold with us. With that, we will move to the next, our esteemed alumni. And I will call him like, just one word popped in my mind is a hustler, right? And I think I'll call him as a hustler. Now you will get to know why I have called him as a hustler, because his name is Mr. Naman Kamra, and he's the co-founder of Bazaar.com and versatile and entrepreneur with 2 additional businesses in the e-commerce and digital marketing space. So that's the reason I called him a hustler. I hope that he doesn't mind that, right? Because he's into now entrepreneurship and started his own venture into this competitive space. So with that, I'll just continue with his introduction. And Bazaar.com, Naman spearheads end-to-end execution and operations, providing NRIs worldwide with access to homegrown brands at affordable prices, conveniently delivered to their doorsteps. His e-commerce venture thrives on platforms like Amazon Global and Walmart, while his digital marketing agency fosters platform management and growth. So, having come from a family deeply rooted in traditional businesses, Naman has embraced his entrepreneurial heritage after gaining valuable experience at Brazil for 5.5 years. His innate ability to build enduring relationships is evident in the astounding 50 collaborations his venture secured within just 8 months, including renowned brands such as Yonex, Nivea, and Hindustan Unilever. Apart from his professional pursuits, Naman enjoys playing cricket, avidly watching football. He's a diehard fan and nurturing a keen interest in personal finance, which aligns with his personal goals. And I think I'm right now his hustler because he's doing a lot of things. So with that, I'm going to please over to you, Mr. Naman, and for next 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Rishikesh, for the introduction. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. Yeah, great.
Loud
thank
and
you so
clear.
much for the opportunity. Firstly, to Mohit sir, to Professor Nihar, to Dr. Talwar, and to IMT for having us here and sharing the experience which we had during our MBA. And thank you for the viewers to listen to us. So for me, I think life has come around a full circle. I think one of the such sessions only helped me gain insights as to why I should do an MBA in the first place. So my journey at IMT has truly been exciting and a different one, I would say. Why I say different? Because our batch is like no other. We did most of our regular MBA virtually. So when I entered the college journey, my idea was very clear as to why I'm doing this. I came from a consulting and research background. I was with Crystal Research for good 5.5 years. I was in Mumbai away from home for 3 years during the tenure. That was the first time I was away from home. So there were a lot of learnings on both professional as well as personal front. When you're living on your own, you might have to manage your own expenses, and you realize, how expensive of a city Mumbai really is in terms of rents. And that's not a jab to anybody, especially Sunil sir, who lives in Bangalore right now with the skyrocketing rental expenses over there. So yeah, coming back to Crystal Research, I think I was in their automotive vertical, wherein I started out as an associate. I slowly moved up the ladder to becoming a senior analyst. Being my first professional job, it helped me gain valuable insights into the automotive industry, how the macroeconomy actually impacts the industry, and basically how businesses work and grow. It helped me figure out my strengths and figure out what my weaknesses were that I need to work on. So at the end of 5.5 years, apart from immense experience, I not only gained experience, but three mentors and n number of industry connections. So I wanted to capitalize on those that knowledge and the kind of connections which I had, and wanted to delve into an MBA, which a reputed brand actually gives you that leap in life. To be very blunt, I was very clear why I joined. I required a minimum of 100x jump on what reflects in my bank account every month, and I was hungry for getting more connections. So MBA it was for me then. At IMT academically, it was basically back to the basics. I can still recall there were sessions, as to how I was able to brush up on my accounting. Professor Sachin sir had actually brought us back to the basics and taught us accounting really well. Dr. Ranjan gave us a wonderful session on how to manage presentation skills and gave us the tools and tricks. In fact, the foundation to every aspect of marketing, finance, operations, HR, legal is laid out superbly well in the curriculum. I personally believe if the basics and the foundation is great, a person can build on and learn new tricks and tips, and if he's willing to work hard enough as well as learn in the career. In fact, one of my best presentations till date I have made during my group project with Sunil sir in microeconomics. Not to boast, I scored a perfect 100 in that subject. So yeah. But doing an MBA after getting industry experience gives you that luxury of time and the freedom to reflect on what you have done in the past and the direction which you want to take in the future. Probably that's why I took the call of shifting from a job and taking that leap into a business with a partner. I'm grateful that I could experience both sides of the coin. And I could have never gained so much experience as I did in the past 1.5 years of my entrepreneurial journey than I ever would have in any job, be it in any industry. Yeah. So I'm one of my ventures right now, which is the digital marketing agency, has taught me nothing but patience, resilience, and to set the expectations right. Parallelly, we started working on another venture wherein we sell Indian branded goods on Amazon Global and Walmart, which is something right up my alley because I love building long-term partnerships. I love building long-term relations with people. So the overall, just to give you an overview of how this space looks like, last year, cumulative exports on Amazon Global platform in India were around $5 billion. Currently, till 2023, the current calendar year, the exports have totaled about $8 billion. So it's already on part of being more than double this year. So if we were able to sell Indian brand goods on such platforms, so the idea came to our mind that why not cater to such people directly and build our own brand out of it. And hence, that's how Bazaar5.com came into being. And overall, I just wanted to say that I was extremely risk averse. And you would, talk about probably an entrepreneur talking about being risk averse. Ye to scam hai bhai banda. But it's not that way. I mean, I just gave myself that backing, when I had the time to reflect on. I backed myself up, and I would say that you should do the same, and you will just thank yourself later. One of the quotes that really helps me get going in life is, experience is what you gain when you didn't get what you wanted to achieve in life. So the entrepreneur in me can't help but seize the opportunity to tell you guys, if you want to know about me and what I do, please go check out Bazaar5.com and send snacks and goodies to your loved ones living abroad. Thank you, Rishikesh. That's all from my side.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Naman. that you have shared the very different experience, right? And we have very a daily combination. One is from the corporate and one is from the entrepreneurship, and both are successful and reached some level, right? And so it's really great, and I think this is something exciting of this webinar. So moving forward, what we have done is this is something new for our audiences. We thought about it this webinar. This is the fourth webinar we are doing. So now we have come up with. I have set up a few questions to you individuals, and you can just answer on that question, and you can you can share your experience. And I would really appreciate that if you share your hands-on real experience, right? Because right now we have discussed about lots of things, right? But the other part also, I think we should also share that it's not like a honky dory, right? It has to be a lot of efforts and all that things we have to give up, and then only we get something. So my first question, obviously I'll first go to the Mr. Sunil Kumar, and that first question is what made you to take this decision, because you had 12 years of experience, right? And I can relate with myself. I'm also having 12, 13 years of experience, and moving again, shifting from working professional status to again this student kind of state, having after 12, 13 years of experience, especially when we have family, when we have few certain commitments from the personal side, from the professional side, and in the mid of that we are taking this kind of a decision, right, which going to impact and hamper our surroundings, especially our near and loved ones as well, right? But you do that, and also you have got support from your near and loved ones, right? So how you done that? Because uh, and then you move to a student, kind of a status, and then again now today you are working as an associate director, right? Which is the, I think, top notch designation. Everyone and anyone would like to get into that. So this, what made you to do that?
So fine, thank you for question. So I was about to answer the question, but luckily I was in my flow to answer the same. But you asked the question now. So I always felt during my what I say during my stint at Vedanta, which is a very large organization in terms of metals and mining and exports. So the exports are huge, over more than 1.5 million tons of exports of aluminum. So I was handling a role of, let's say, 35 countries, export to 35 countries, more than 4 to 5,000 containers per month. It's about huge sales. Sales volume of per monthly was about 2,200 crores per month. It's a very huge. So what exactly then I realized, during my entire 3 years or 4 years, especially from 2017 to 20, I realized that there is some point I'm missing, especially the analytics part. I'm not able to analyze the data. I'm having a lot of data. So somewhere I think some missing links are there. So that is one of the reason where I wanted to look into a course or some kind of upskilling which helped me in data analysis and also understand the data and collating the data and putting in a right format. And now second, um, how the next generation, how the people under me are thinking about me, how the people who are reporting to me are having the ideas, what are the why the startups at a young generation 25 to 28, let's say, they are very very successful. So all these things had giving me a hint that something is the in the MBA or something in the uh, inside some material is there. So let's take it. And this is not that it's at the age of, let's say, 33 or 34. It was since last when I joined engineering, I thought of doing MBA. After 5 years of my work I thought of doing MBA, and that persistence still was there. However, the family support, it was just like taking a step, leaving your job and investing in a startup. It's as equivalent to it. It is a equivalent risk. And but I was very, very confident that even if I take a risk, there is a day where it will pay off, and it did. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And absolutely rightly said by you, and very articulately you have, put that, because what I have realized is, I think those who have now got this kind of opportunity to do this kind of a program, which is exclusively and especially for the working professionals, right? Those are, I think, lucky ones or blessed ones, because they got this opportunity again to, do their MBA. And perhaps I would not say that MBA, because it's a elevated MBA, I would say, because this is, if you look at our curriculum, and this MBA is for those who have already spent their 5-6 years into the corporate, right? They have already become managers or kind of thing, and they have set their own, bar or kind of, and now they want to move forward, and they're stuck, and they feel that, and they, they're able to vision that next 10-15 years I will be in the kind of a rat race only, and then there's this 5% and 10% kind of hike or something like that. And if I want to really break that ceiling and really reach to the management level, I should take the risk, and the risks which you have articulated, this kind of a started one kind of a startup, and take that risk. So thank you so much, because it needed a lot of
Correct.
thoughts, guts, and this thing. So, and it is really helpful, I think, all our audience, and in future also, who will definitely watch this video, they will also, it will be motivate them, inspire them, that those who are actually having 9, 10, 11 years of experience, and they wanted to do that, but now they're stuck.
Yeah.
So thank you so much once again. The next question would be, please share your valuable takeaways which you have learned from this program, and now you can in cash, you can use this all takeaways in these corporate your experience, and that help you to become a leader. Or today also you are working as an associate director, so you are one of the stakeholder, you are one of the decision maker, right? So once you make the decision, you made that, right? So how did all takeaways helped you? Which are that takeaways you have learned?
So, the role I joined after my, completion of this program is basically a role which deals more with strategic and also partly with execution, or let's say it's a mix of both strategic and execution. And it's a large responsibility for handling the entire country's supply chain and logistics. So it's not that easy to understand India distribution channels, India networks. We are distributing from, let's say, Punjab to Coimbatore, Kerala to Calcutta, and even Guwahati, Silgudi. We are also distributing to Gujarat and all over the location. So to handle this network, what helps you to the best way to tell is network optimization. So we know network optimization in our mind, but how to do it in a structured way is one of the takeaway. So the point here is, it's just an example, network optimization. The point is, the program will teach you the problem solving methodologies, and you should you see, we all take the risk in our life, but koi calculate karta hai, people calculate, some people, and some people do not calculate. But this program will tell you, if you are taking risk, what kind of risk you are taking, how are you mitigating your risk, and how best, what will happen, what is the plan B. So this will give you a structured approach, which I was not doing earlier, because this has a tools. You have a lot of tools, you have a lot of case studies, you have a lot of peers who can help you to make a structured decision, to make a proper decision, and they will guide you a proper solving approach, let's say problem solving approach. And last is, my biggest takeaway is the team view, the cross functional, I mean the batch size, the 5 to 12 years view, different cross functions, the view, what the view, or the, let's say, I mean, the biggest takeaway is my experience of my peers. It's I can say it's a wonderful experience, which even today I use at my strategic level.
Sorry, I missed that. What kind of experience you said?
peer experience,
Peer
peer learning.
experience.
Yeah, peer
Yes.
learning
Okay.
and peer experience. Peer viewpoint. I told you, right? An IT guy can also give you a very good suggestion into your hardcore supply chain domain. It possible.
And I think that's the kind of we call it as a 360 degree view, right? So
Right.
and that help us because. Perfect. So I have one question for you, but before that, I'll just now move to Mr.
You
Naman.
should.
Naman,
Yeah.
now it's your, this thing, it's your turn. Now, the question is, certainly now we were talking about, you have done this program with Mr. Sunil Kumar, that you have done that program and now you have become associate director, right? When I look at you, it's ban opposite, So my question to you is, after completing this program, what made you, to become entrepreneur? After this program, how that program helped you to get into the entrepreneurship and start your own venture? Not only one, you are into the, 2 or 3 ventures, right? So please, throw some light, practical, aspects, and how today also how this program, help you, to manage your work-life balance plus 3 businesses and all.
Yeah, definitely. So, so when you say that, I think how this MBA has helped, so in multiple ways, I would say, as simple as that. As I mentioned, in decision making, I would have never, even thought of, jumping into entrepreneurship had I not done this, had I not taken the break or the time, or had that freedom to reflect on what I was doing. So that is the start of it. And then, when you talk about how it is helping me running a business, so at the end of the day, it's the bottom line, you have to manage to pay out salaries anyway, time pay. Finance comes into the picture then. Hiring new people, managing employee expectations, HR comes into the picture completely. Running a firm efficiently, operations is how you do it. Reviewing contracts, be it employee contracts, be it client contracts, and giving your input to it. So yeah, that's legal over there, right over there. So the MBA actually gives you an insight, and I'm grateful for the experience I gained. Moreover, I think if you talk about how it is helping me continuously, so so as you mentioned, my company, my firm has currently more than 50 collaborations, and we're counting more and more as we go along. However, when I want to find a industry connect with anybody in the corporate, so if I find somebody on the other side who's from IMT, that's the common thread, and I know my work is done then and there itself. So it's that easy, and you can't simply put any price tag or put anything to it. Rather, if your work is being done in minutes, that's the kind of efficiency you want to live with and you want to gain in life ultimately. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think, so again, I'll now come back to Mr. Sunil Kumar, and question is, what are the 3 challenges you have faced when you headed to the campus, because you were a working professional, right? 12 years, I think you have not opened the textbook or something like that. So please tell us the 3 challenges that you might have faced and how you have overcome that.
So one challenge already you told is you are out of academics for 12 years, right? So just imagine you handed over a statistical analysis, data analysis book, or let's say the leadership book एक दे दिया आपके, corporate strategy book आपको, you got it. Then how do you read it? And how do you go back to data and analyze? So it was a challenge for me to going from 12 years. I mean, I was totally out of the academics from 12 years and writing an exam after 12 years or understanding to the lecturers and all. It was a bit of challenge for me for first month. But even today, I want, if you ask me, can you do again an MBA? I love to do. So only my family should support and my financial should support. Otherwise, so it's my passion that I have overcome because I have a lot of interest in learning and all. So by the way, I am a silver medalist for the this batch. Okay, so the
Wow.
person who out
So
of,
please now elaborate that you are you are saying that you have faced that challenges, and I recognize that one. First one, that is, you haven't opened the textbook, because we read novels, we read books, right, for leaderships and other things. But when it comes to the textbook, and you know that you have to attend the exam out of this book, right?
yeah,
And now you have got this silver
medal.
this thing medal as well. Please enlighten our all the attendees. It will be motivation for them, because there is a one kind of a what we can say is, it's a thing that may stop them to get into this kind of program once again.
Yeah.
Please.
So this is a very important. Thanks for this question also. So to attendees, my answer is mainly for the attendees. No worry about. Don't worry about academics, or don't worry by selling. By looking at the syllabus so big, pedagogy. What you say, like you have economics, you have to study suddenly some corporate law or finance and everything, which are out of your. Let's say finance guy will have a good walk through finance, but he will not have a good grip on, let's say, other subjects such as supply chain and all. So the peer learning helps you in the MBA. I mean, this program, the peer will help you, and the professors will help you. The professors already in the campus are they know how to make you aware of the situation, aware of the particular subject, by giving you a proper example and all. So no worry about that. So only the thing is that you have to drive with a passion. You should understand. Like I say RCA in our operation, we say RCA, root cause analysis. यहाँ पे भी RCA everywhere. Okay, whatever you are reading, you should know why are you reading, what are you studying. You should be very, very clear. If you are reading law, then why are you reading law? What is the use of the implication of the law? I read law with very much interest, because before my this program, I got an insolvency. I was part of an insolvency case of 33 crores from a company put a IBC. At that time, I was not aware about IBC and all, but when during my study, I could relate to IBC very, very well, and I really overjoyed. And even now, and my silver medal only because I learned with the passion. And you need to have that passion, continued passion. No worry about job. Don't worry. First you learn, and second most challenge was unlearn. So you have to unlearn. You have to put your experience a little bit aside and take the new view also. You need to unlearn to learn again.
Yeah, it's I think really, thank you so much for highlighting this: learn, unlearn, and relearn. These three concepts, right? Sometimes it's very easy. It seems easy, but it's simple, but it's not easy to learn something, then unlearn something, and then again relearn something.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for these all challenges which we have faced and shared with us. Now the next question to I think both of you, but first I'll ask Mr. Naman that we have a lot of activities during this program, right? Which will enhance and nourish your other personality, other part of the personality. It's not only knowledge or kind of hands-on experience, right? And how that help you to become the founder and owner, and perhaps you are owner, but or founder, but also at the same time how you work with your team and as a team player, and you have to change a lot of hats, right? So how you do that, and how this program help you to do that?
Sure. So I would say the program in itself, is very well structured when it comes to and is very up to date with industry trends. We got it well with R language, Python, right? So when I work with developers, so that really helps and comes into the picture over there. So I run a marketing agency as well. So digital transformation in the real world was one of the subjects, right? So how we can digitally help businesses in order to market their products better. That directly fits into I think the subject which was taught at IMT. Digital marketing again was I think one of the subjects in marketing, right? So and the way it was taught, I think that laid down the foundation and the basics very well. While I was parallelly doing a live project with the same firm, but I think having read all the nuances of the industry helped me manage the business better. I think the skills you gain, I think, out of the program, right? So when you look at all the other courses provided by all the other B schools, so that's what set IMT apart, because they not only make an individual employable, but command a demand from the industry rather. So people actually want to hire people from IMT. That's what that it is. And so when you say like how it has helped, so yeah, I think I mentioned, I think in terms of hiring, managing employee expectations. So learning the basics of it, right? The legalities of it. So while I was not thrown or, not, I think, exposed to such subjects early on, while I was working with CRISIL, I only was limited to the nuances of financial statements, macroeconomy, microeconomy. I was very comfortable in those subjects. However, I think when it came to operations, I think, and when you have peers such as Sunil sir being an operational master and people from IT backgrounds helping you with coding, and so that really helps ultimately and build a bond, which you, I think, take away for life, right? Like the entire batch, when you're working together, there's nothing like it. And the program exposes you to all the case studies and you have to work in groups. So you have to manage a team rather. So there's no other way around. There's no option. There's no escape. So you learn the patience and you learn how to just set expectations right and manage your way and completely do a task ultimately.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Naman. And I think this session is going very, interesting, exciting. And, why I realized how I got to know, because I just now saw the time. It's 7:11. We have crossed and we are, 11 minutes, and we are still going on. That's, that shows that it's really going interesting, because now we are not looking at the time. Please bear with us. I have more questions. And because it's very, it's very important that, so the next question is, I'll ask, Mr. Sunil Kumar, that you have international immersion, right? During your program. So lots of business schools now, they have international immersion, right? They have come up with this kind of concept, right? Where you exchange some credits and you go to that particular city or that particular university, and you stay there and you then understand their academics, their government policies, their businesses, their culture, or kind of, right? Probably for 1 month, or probably for 20 days, or probably for 3 months, kind of thing. So my question to you is, how that international immersion benefited you today, and during that also, when once you completed this program, and you know that now it's a now placement season now, corporates are now coming up in to the campus, right? And did you ever showcase your this global stint, right? For 1 month, I think you were there, right? So that 1 month, did you capitalize that 1 month experience during your placement, or during your interview, and today also, and in your profile, in your CV, or probably your LinkedIn profile, that the global, you went to the international university, you stay there for a 1 month, right? It's 30 days. You understand their culture, you understood their academics, their way of teaching, the way of learning, then businesses, all, right? And you also enjoyed a lot, I think.
Yeah.
You must have, right? And so how this, you have capitalized particularly that placement state, right? And the second is today also. So it has helped you, yes or no? You can say anything, because it's a candid conversation, and I would highly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Nice question. So uh, I have definitely capitalized that. So will you believe me that Landmark Group, Dubai, Chief Supply Chain Officer, and I had a chat in LinkedIn, and he arranged the interview for me. because we went for international immersion Dubai.
Oh, wow.
There we built some
Please just
network.
elaborate for this thing for 15 to 20
Yeah,
seconds because
I
it's
will.
really magic. You have done that. I know I can understand where are you coming from, but I would love to, understand my audience as well.
Yeah, great.
Our
So
audience.
it's so the what happens during your international immersion, you are exposed to different. So we went to Dubai. So our international immersion was at Dubai. I think our next batch they went to Europe. So every country, or let's say every region, when you go to Europe, you learn something else. When you go to USA, you will learn something else. When you are in Dubai, you will learn something else. For me, Dubai was wonderful rather than Europe, I can say, because I am from supply chain, and Dubai is kind of a hub for supply chain and shipping containers, and kind of the business where already I am in. So, so there was a speaker who happens to from my same company, past company, and we met there in Dubai. So, and then after that, there are other speakers. We had a very good conversation. So the difference between the Indian speakers, or let's say the people who are in India, who are in Indian corporate, and let's say who are in corporates in Dubai, or let's say who are in Europe. So you will find a variation, though the leadership traits and the kind of the subject could be common, but the way you'll find you can easily make out the difference between the culture of the Dubai companies and the culture of Indian companies and all. So I got a very good network in my international immersion, and which I have capitalized during my interview. So I got two offers from Dubai, and where I went to immersion and I got two offers from Dubai, though I didn't take the offer due to my family constraint. So I wanted to be at India, so hence I couldn't do that. But had it been anyone else in my position who is able to, whose family supports to go to Dubai, they would have definitely capitalized from international immersion. This is number one. Number two, I had a wonderful session with people. Naman, what was that company? Stanley, right? Stanley, one speaker I
Black
forgot
and
his name.
Decker. Black and
Black and
Decker.
Decker, yeah. So, so there was a very funny question I would like to answer. So he asked, he told us, during his speech, he told, so you can learn anything, you can upskill anything. So I asked him a question: can I be a cardiologist at this age? Okay, and believe me, this question triggered him. He was a vice president of that company, and we had a wonderful conversation after that. So learning international, having international exposure will take you away from your domestic exposure, and international exposures also will give you a lot of strategic thinking. So their way of thinking is totally different from an Indian vice president. There is a difference, and I could make out the difference, and I know it was a great intake for me. Apart from that, the faculty at the international immersion um, taught us some different subjects which are very, which are more related to those continent, or let's say those province. So it was good exposure altogether. Yeah.
Thank you so much once again. So the sorry. So, now two key key takeaways is for the audience. First is the networking. Second, you have to be sometimes very funny. You have to ask some very funny questions so that you may catch their eyeballs. Am I right? And all the audiences, you can reach out to Sunil Kumar sir on LinkedIn or something, and just get some insights from him. So yeah, over to you, Naman, for the same question. And please, if you can quickly answer that, I would really appreciate.
Yeah. So wouldn't take much time, I think. But it's important to mention why I think we went to Dubai. Because since it was a pandemic time, I think the international restrictions were there in place. But I have to say the program chair as well as Professor Vishal, I think back then, and Dr. Nihar would, I think Professor Nihar would second this thought when I say this, that the COIS navigated beautifully in order to make it happen in the first place, because COVID restrictions were there, travel restrictions were there, visa restrictions were there. Which countries were accepting Covishield, Covaxin, those all things came into the picture, and yet I think we went ahead and managed to go to Dubai. So 20 days, I guess, 20 to 30 days, odd days, we were together with the batch. I think we bonded really well, I would say. So that experience, I think, really brought us close together. And having said that, I think it's international immersion is all about learn hard and party harder. And I think Sunil sir would second that thought. But yes, I think it's about, I think, how it helps you in placement. I think overall, when we look at our batch, right? So there are people from different cultures coming together, and you learn a lot once you do that. And as well as when you go to a different country altogether, so you learn about their culture, how people are doing business over there, right? So an interesting, I think, take on Dubai was, so we got to know that the mobile penetration in Dubai is 200%. So every person has two mobile phones, right? So you get to learn about how to market, your product in a different country altogether, how to learn about what drives the market over there. Right. So that was a different learning. We got to learn about Sharia banking, which is completely different on how banks work in India. And there were sessions, as Sunil sir said, by different vice presidents of different companies coming together and giving their perspective. So yeah, I think it definitely would have helped people in placements, and bringing that experience, bringing that cultural knowledge, really helps you to gain that perspective, if not more.
Thank you so much, Mr. Norman. With your permission, Mr. Norman and Mr. Sunil Kumar, I'm just proposing all our audiences, please reach out to both of them on LinkedIn. One will give you all the aspects in the corporate, how you can use all these things, and the other one give you how you can use this all experience in building up a startup, or if you want to hustle, right? So, and really, I appreciate IMT Ghaziabad, because you rightly mentioned right now two things, and I realized that 2022, 2021 stint, and I was that time I was working with USA Business School, and I realized that what kind of challenges I was having, right, when it comes to the international. Sorry. Yeah, and perhaps IMT Ghaziabad was able to send you on to the Dubai. They haven't compromised on that, and that's the, I think, one of the USP of this IMT Ghaziabad program, PGDMExP program, that we have consistently 3 years we are growing up our placement average, right? And it's really a milestone. So now the last question, and would be last but not the least, and perhaps it could be a most important question, which which could be the entire crux of this webinar. The question is, please tell us, not tell us, 5 reasons, why a working professional, should think about this program, should take the risk, because I mark my words, because this is a full-time commitment, full-time residential program. This is a full-time commitment, right? It's not a part-time. There are lots of programs going on part-time online right now. Why somebody think about a full-time residential program at this juncture, right? Today, I'm not talking about even 2 years back or 1 year back. Today's little bit market is very up than 2021, 2022, right? So why somebody should that? And please tell us 5 reasons that working professional, and especially from 5 years to 15, 16 years, right? Why should they think about it? Why they should take the risk of 18 months? Because they are already at certain salary stage, they're already at certain level, at personal level or professional level, right? And they have to take a gap and break, and again join back to the school, come back to the school, and then again this. So please give us a 5 practical and realistic reasons that you feel they should join. So I'll start with I think again Mr. Sunil Kumar.
So the 5 reasons why you should, or anyone should join, not exactly this program.
If you feel that they don't want to, Right now, you can also say that. No, that's not an issue. Right?
So let me be very, very frank.
Because
No,
it should be a candid,
yeah.
it should be a candid conversation, because today you are a working professional, you are a successful business leader, right?
Yeah.
So it's really worthwhile to, invest time, efforts, money, right? Because as you said rightly, that you have put your efforts, and that's how you got the silver rank, right? So it's not only just, join the batch. It's like not an ATM machine, right? That 18 months and now my salary is now 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs, and our average is 157%. So yes, and now I'm going to get that. No, there is a lot of commitments from your side, right? We have platforms, we have set up the platform, and this is a very proven program. It's been now 23 years. IMT Ghaziabad is running that, right? But why particularly you feel that? If you feel.
Yeah. So fine, I cannot number of the region, but I'm number 5 or 4. I'll tell you my view why one should pursue or one should not pursue anything. I'll tell my view. So number one, if you are going to, if you're looking for a startup or you want to start your own, then I recommend these kind of programs, not only the same one, any similar one, definitely, because you will learn a lot of things. Because running a startup and scaling it up. Okay, so you will get to certain level. You will get to, at startup you will be there, but after that you have to scale it up to, let's say, 10x or 5x, whatever. It's very, very, very tough, and you need a good, thorough professional. I mean, at the team along with you to run the business or to scale up the business. So I sincerely suggest those people to learn the entrepreneurship aspects of this particular curriculum or this program. That is number one. Number two, if you still want to continue in the corporate like me, as I have taken a decision to continue in my corporate life, you will have salary definitely 2x, at least 1.5x to 2x. If you're already in high band, let's say 20, 25, 30, you will get at least 1.5x. There is no doubt on that. So this is already, in terms of quantitative aspect of salary. Qualitative aspect, your designation will go high. What designation you are continuing post MBA, you will definitely get a very good designation, and also you'll get a very good role. I mean, what you are aspiring for. So role wise, quantitative like salary wise, or let's say CTC wise, or also, and third one is your what do you, the first point I forgot. Yeah, maybe the first startup. So these three things you should take up this course. Yeah, but there is a challenge when you take up this course. You should devote yourself to the program. If you don't, if you should have that passion. You have to, it is a rigorous curriculum. This for 18 months looks like very long, but when you enter into the course, 18 months happens like this. In a blink of eye, your 18 months will complete and you will tell, "Arey, khatam ho gaya." So it's a very rigorous program. It needs a lot of patience and dedication. Otherwise, you should utilize the program, you should utilize the faculty. IMT library, I have visited the library, let's say, I think 12 to 13 times. Okay, but I have seen people who are visiting regularly. So the point here is you have all the resources, you have wonderful faculties, especially marketing. You get a top-notch faculty who has written more than 60 to 70 cases. They have presented cases in HBR and all. So you just imagine you are going to talk to a case is already presented at HBR, let's say Harvard, and you are talking to the professor. Just imagine the kind of knowledge you are getting. It's all about you have to utilize that. And I'm sure, see, job is a byproduct of learning. This is what I learned. When I started, my CTC was pretty high. It was highest in the batch. But when I was not worried about my increment 2x or 3x or 1x, whatever, but I was only concerned of learning. And I learned, and I was not worried about job until last 2 months of the program. I mean, I was end of the program. Let's say my program is ending up in January 15th, let's say. So I got little bit of, I mean, worrying, or I was thinking about this since November or December. Until that time, I was not worried. And I got placed, and to be frank, I got 4 offers from 4 prominent companies. So, and I got a comeback offer from my own company. Okay, and I have to choose out of 4. This I'm not telling out of something I got it. It's a fact that I got 4 offers and I chosen one of them.
Wow, thank you so much for, seriously, it's a candid answer, right? And I think you spot on that. So over to you, Naman, quickly.
Yeah. So I guess when we talk about the key takeaways, right, there's a million dollar question which runs into a mind of, say, I
Sure.
had 5.5 years of experience. I'm sure Sunil sir had more. So he was already at his CTC expectations were not that high as a person who has 5 years of experience or 7 years of experience, right? So the billion dollar question is you're earning already. You have to give up your salaries. So that earning plus the fee which you have to pay plus what you gain, and your mind is constantly churning that kind of maths, right? Whether you get that kind of ROI or not. So there are two aspects of it, I would say. One is definitely the monetary aspect. You get that. That's why I took the call of having joined the course. So that took care of the first aspect, which is the monetary aspect of it, right? So your expectation might be 2x, 3x of what you're getting currently. So that takes care of that. But secondly, I think the kind of network, the kind of peer learning, the kind of learning and experience which the program gives you, you can't put a price tag on that simply. So that is what you gain. And apart from that, I would say, yeah, I think the luxury of time, freedom, that's one more thing. Peer learning is a great added advantage. Immensely experienced faculty, which keeps on making you unlearn things what you had learned earlier, and then learn new things in a different way altogether. So that's a great plus point again. And I would say that if at all after the course you have wonderful friends, you've made wonderful friends. So that's a cherry on top of the cake, and I'm grateful for having that from the batch.
Thank you so much. You have also come up with a very different, point of views, right? I think it's really a deadly combination of the entire answer. So I think I'll just sum up quickly, yes, 5 to 6 factors which you have just told us, right? So it's worthwhile to join this program. We understand the kind of risk we are calculating, cost benefit analysis, we can say that. And it's worthwhile because from the getting a job and getting into the startup or starting your own venture as well, for both the aspects it will fulfill these needs. So the program structure, program architecture meets these all things, right? And at the start of this webinar, our director sir and even Professor Nihar also mentioned that the incubation part, right? So we have very aggressively started that incubation. So that is also one of the you can say support for the starting any venture kind of. So that's the one thing. The second is rightly said by Mr. Naman is the kind of learning which you get. You inculcate that learning into your professional as well as your personal career, right? You become a wiser and very responsible kind of human being in this society or kind of. So this program will help you in that as well. And the other prospects also, the incubator, international immersion, then personal growth lab, then peer learning is most important. So this networking, so these all things are attached with this program. So these are the 5 to 6 factors, I think. So thank you so much for this making this wonderful webinar. I didn't think about this. We are now at 7:32, right? So it's, I think, history. I think it's a kind of thing, because last 3 webinars we have close on 7:75 kind of thing. So it's very interesting, I think, and we look forward. And again, my sincere thank to you both on behalf of entire PGDMExP crew team, and thank you once again.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you so much.
for having us.
It's
been a pleasure.
session. Yeah.
Thank you so much once again. And okay, thank you so much.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah.